And welcome, sports fans, to today's Sports Roundtable post-Thanksgiving edition of the Sports Roundtable today. Coming to you on a Friday instead of a Saturday, but trying to get ahead of the weekend. Going to be a very busy weekend for us here on YHC, which we'll get into in just a moment. But big day for this roundtable. We're going to give you a recap of the football quarterfinals that took place over the weekend last week and just give you some results there since we haven't really been around this week to give you those results. Also, we're going to take a look ahead at the Hayti versus Westran Class 1 semifinal game that's going to be taking place this Saturday afternoon, which we'll be a part of and talk about in a moment. Also, we're going to talk about the Riverbank Classic that's underway this weekend, Friday and Saturday over at New Madrid County Central. And also our broadcast schedule, our basketball broadcast schedule we're going to release and publish today to give you a look into all the basketball broadcasts we're bringing to you this year here on Channel 21 and YHCTV.com and all of our online platforms for this season. So we're going to release every game that we're going to bring to you here on YHC for today's roundtable. So quite a bit to get to for today as we're making a transition, wrapping up football over the next couple of weeks. State championships will be taking place next weekend up in Columbia on the Mizzou campus. Semifinals taking place this weekend. We've only got one local team in the mix. We're going to talk plenty about that in our next segment, but in just a moment. But also basketball, making that transition into basketball now, getting underway this weekend. Actually, some of us got it underway early last week. So we are making that transition into the winter sports season. And basketball is here. We've got our first games coming up next week, which we'll talk about in just a few moments. So a lot to get to for today. So let's get right into it for the football quarterfinal matchups that took place last weekend. And Hayti defeated Thayer, no problem, 46-12. The Hayti Indians over Thayer, and Hayti will move on to the semifinal game, which they will host this coming Saturday tomorrow down at Hayti. We'll talk more about that in a moment, but Hayti rolls with another dominant victory over Thayer. They played them in the first week or two of the season and had no problem with Thayer early in the season, and no different last weekend. Hayti moves on with that victory over Thayer in the quarterfinals. So the Hayti Indian dominance continues once again, and we'll see what they can pull off in the semifinal round on Saturday. And also from last Friday night, the Class 2 quarterfinals. This was Friday night. Last Friday night, Lutheran North defeated Crothersville once again, a rematch of last year's quarterfinal game, also at Hockey Field from Friday night in Crothersville, and a big victory, 51-8. Lutheran North defeats Crothersville. No problem for Lutheran North as they will advance back on to the semifinal round in the Class 2 state tournament. And moving on to the game that we brought to you live from St. Louis Saturday afternoon. We were on hand to bring you that game and replay throughout the week. Cardinal Ritter and Kennett, and Cardinal Ritter come away with that victory, 42-9 in that quarterfinal contest. And Cardinal Ritter, very impressive, talented team, very fast, especially at the receiver position. They got one Ohio State commit and a couple other receivers that could probably play at a big-time level as well, at the next level in college football, and put up a lot of points and a lot of speed. They're on the edges from Cardinal Ritter, and they down Kennett 42-9. So Kennett's season comes to an end. They had a great year. Only one loss coming to a Missouri opponent, as that was Saturday, and their only loss coming to week 2 against Gosnell down in northeast Arkansas. So very good team out of Cardinal Ritter. That Jamison Williams, Ohio State commitment from that Cardinal Ritter team, and there's going to be some other players playing at a big-time level as well from that Cardinal Ritter Lions team. But look out for Cardinal Ritter. They can definitely take that Class 3 state championship as they roll over Kennett and continue their undefeated season from for 2018. But Kennett having a very good year. This may have seemed like a kind of a regroup this year since they lost quite a bit from last year's team. Some very talented seniors last year, but had some big contributions out of kids moving up, especially that junior class. Really stepped up in a big way. And Bodie Ellis, a sophomore quarterback, stepped in to where Andrew Spence, talented quarterback, but he was able to move out to receiver to give them a more dangerous threat on the perimeter at receiver for Andrew Spence, and Bodie Ellis did a great job, especially as an underclassman coming in. Trayvon Lemons, big-time defensive tackle for the Kenton Indians, will move on to due to graduation, also with Spence, and a couple others I'm probably going to leave out, not on purpose anyways, but Trayvon Lemons, all-state defensive tackle. He'll certainly be missed. He's been a great talent for the Indians over the last, about 3 years now. He's been making plays for the Indians. So best of luck to him going forward. And he's been a treat to watch over the last number of years, and a great team this year. They were great to have on TV. We had some great games for the Indians. They won some blowouts this year. They were that good. But Coach Joe White and his staff did a great job with this team, getting some underclassmen to contribute at a high level. And look out for these Indians going forward. They got some more underclassmen that'll be moving up to the varsity ranks next year, in the next few years. So the Kenton Indians won't be done. They'll have a lot of talent moving up and a lot of talent returning for next year's squad. So congratulations to the Kenton Indians on a great season, making it to the quarterfinals, but just run up into a juggernaut in Connor Ritter. And look out for the Ritter Lions. They may make a run for that state championship. And also skipping Class 4 to Class 5, the Jackson Indians on the road taking on Vianney. Tough one, defending champions Vianney. Losing 69-28, and Jackson down Jordan Kent, their star receiver, and that was a tough one to recover from, and especially against a team like Vianney, it's going to put up a lot of points. This was similar to last year's quarterfinal game between these two. Actually, I think it was a district championship last year. This time it comes in the quarterfinals, and Vianney, I think, had 70 points last year, and Jackson scored into the 50s. So a very high scoring affair between those two last year, and it probably would have been about the same if Jordan Kent would have played. But still, Vianney, a tough one, juggernaut, putting up 60-plus points. It's hard to handle. But Jackson down Jordan Kent, star receiver, there over the weekend, and just couldn't overcome it. But Vianney looks to repeat as state champions. Jackson, another great season once again this year, and making it to the quarterfinals. So good luck to the Jackson Indians as they return once again next year, probably with a very talented team once again, and another talented bunch there from Jackson, and another fine season out of the Indians this season. And that's a look at the quarterfinal matchups that took place over the weekend, and the Hayti Indians are the lone team from Southeast Missouri still in the mix in the state tournaments in high school football. And you can look forward to that Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock start from Hayti Westran versus Hayti in the Class 1 semifinals. And we're going to bring that live to you right here on YHC Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock start. We'll bring it right here on Channel 21 on your New Wave cable, also at YHCTV.com, and a Facebook Live coming to you from Hayti, as we'll bring that game to you live right here on YHC Saturday afternoon. We're looking forward to that. We got that promoted online and on YHC here. Been a lot of chatter online. Looking forward to this game Saturday afternoon. Should be a sunny game in the 60s. A great forecast for Saturday's game down in Hayti. So won't have any windiness or raininess like we've had today here on Friday. Looks like it's going to be clear and in the 60s for a high for a Saturday afternoon game. Great conditions in the forecast. So we're looking forward to a great game Saturday afternoon as Hayti will look to advance on to the Class 1 state championship game. And they've been in the mix there numerous times before, going back to, I think, 2007, and that before that, I think, was back in 1984, where they had a couple second-place bids. There in 2007, there's probably another one there, possibly in the 2000s I'm leaving out, but back to 84, had a really talented bunch that come up a little short, got second place as well there in the 80s. So chance for this Hayti team. I've heard from different people down in the Hayti area, this is the best team they've ever had. And the schedule certainly looks that way. They've been rolling through their schedule. I think the closest game they had was in the district championship against Valley Catholic. That was a 28-7 game, so really not a close one there either. But Hayti's been rolling through their schedule all year long and hasn't really changed getting into the state tournament either. But the Westran Hornets will certainly try to change that Saturday afternoon at a long trip for Westran. I'm sure they're on their way today, staying overnight about probably an hour or so north of Columbia, up in the north central part of Missouri. So a pretty good road trip for the Westran Hornets up in Huntsville, Missouri. That'll be coming down to the Boot Hill, the most southern part of the Boot Hill at that, there in Hayti. So we'll be on hand for that. Looking forward to that. Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock start here on YHC. We got you here on Channel 21, YHCTV.com, and Facebook Live. I'm sure to let everyone know they can watch that game on YHC. That Class 1 semifinal, Westran versus Hayti, right here on YHC. We look forward to bringing that live to you from Hayti Saturday afternoon. Looking forward to that one. It's going to be great. And take a look at those tournament brackets going forward in the semifinal round in Class 1. It's Hayti versus Westran. Also Lincoln versus Mid-Buchanan, the other semifinal game taking place over the weekend. So there's a look at the Class 1 state tournament. Taking a look at Class 2, Lutheran North taking on Blair Oaks. And Lamar, the 6-time defending state champion, Lamar takes on Lathrop. And Lamar had a close one over the weekend against Ava. They defeated Ava 35-30 over last weekend. So Lamar's had some close ones, closer than we've certainly seen over the last 6 years. But going for their 7th straight state championship, unreal, is Lamar. And they'll take on Lathrop this weekend in the state semifinals. And taking a look at Class 3, Cardinal Ritter, who defeated Kennett last weekend, will take on Mount Vernon in that semifinal. And Trinity Catholic, a very talented team. They move up to Class 3 this year. They battled Lamar in the semifinals last year. Went down to the wire. Lamar got a narrow victory, survived that one in Class 2 over Trinity Catholic. But Trinity Catholic up in Class 3 this year. They'll take on Maryville in that semifinal matchup. So that'd be a big one there, potentially with Trinity Catholic and Cardinal Ritter. Some very talented teams there out of the St. Louis area. So we'll see what happens there in Class 3. So those are the state tournaments to look forward to going forward in the semifinal round this weekend. As I said, we're going to be wrapping up high school football next weekend, as those state championships will be taking place in the last weekend of November. Be wrapping that up and getting into some high school football or high school basketball going forward. And we're going to take our first break and come back with some basketball. We're going to take a look at the Riverbend Classic that's taking place over at New Madrid this weekend, Friday and Saturday. And also take a look at our YHC basketball broadcast schedule for this season. All the games we're going to be doing here on YHC for this season. We'll take a look at that coming up.
Several years ago, a school bus technician came into the parts department and said, "I need a school bus radiator as fast as I can get it." Our parts man had the radiator sent to Kennett, Missouri on the first bus coming out of Memphis. He told Alan, the bus technician, to call him as soon as he picked the radiator up. At 3 o'clock in the morning, he called our parts man and said, "I just picked the radiator up. You told me to call you." Best price, best service. Glenn Sane, and God bless our troops.
For the best service in air conditioning, it's AirTech Heating and Air in Dexter. They service both commercial and residential customers and provide additional services including plumbing, electrical, and appliance repair. AirTech is a Carrier factory authorized dealer, and currently Carrier is offering cool cash rebates, providing you extra savings towards a new AC unit. Has served the area as a family business since 1960, now led by NATE certified Jason Johnson. He holds the highest certification in the heating, cooling, and refrigeration industry. Call today to get the expert service of AirTech.
At Ag Explore, we're farmers too. So we know that farming's never been a 9-to-5 job. Just like the farmer, we work overtime to bring you whatever it takes. Solutions like InZone help you retain 47% more nitrogen, with an overall average increase of 12 bushels per acre. Imagine what InZone can do for you. Ag Explore.
And welcome back, and take a look at the Riverbend Classic getting underway today and continuing Saturday over at New Madrid County Central High School. Also, always a good kickoff event to the basketball season with some of our local talent taking on some tri-state area talent when it comes to Arkansas, Tennessee, even Kentucky and Illinois games in there, or even some St. Louis teams that come down for the weekend. And today's games, 2 o'clock, Covington, Tennessee taking on Risco. Risco coming into the Riverbend Classic this year, and that'll be at 2 o'clock. 3:30, Kennett will take on Lake County, Tennessee. At 5 o'clock, Charleston versus West Memphis of Arkansas. And at 6:30, New Madrid County Central versus Cairo, Illinois. So that's the lineup for Friday over the Riverbend Classic. Then Saturday, getting underway at 10 a.m. is Blytheville versus Kennett. At 11:30, Lake County versus Cairo. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, New Madrid County Central takes on West Memphis. And at 2:30 for the last game is Charleston versus Covington of Tennessee. So those are the games to look forward to over the Riverbend Classic. Always a good opportunity to go over and see the teams getting started with their season. Also some good talent coming in. That West Memphis teams have been really good. They've competed for Arkansas State Championships and have played at a high level, and always good to have them in that Riverbend Classic each year. So those are the games to look forward to this weekend, seeing our local teams with Risco, Kennett, Charleston, New Madrid. You can check those out over at New Madrid County Central Friday and Saturday. And also the Van Buren shootout taking place over there. The Current River shootout is taking place, I believe, Friday and Saturday as well. I didn't get any games in there, but some of the local teams are playing in that. I think Clarkton playing in that one. Risco typically plays in that one, but they went to the Riverbend this year. So quite a bit taking place this weekend. The Current River shootout over to Van Buren, the Riverbend shootout, Riverbend Classic over New Madrid. So quite a bit of games kicking off this weekend after Thanksgiving holiday. And we'll be definitely getting into the season starting next week, going forward with regular season play. And now let's take a look at our 2018-2019 YHC TV broadcast schedule. All the games that we're going to bring to you live here on YHC this season, right here on Channel 21 or New Wave Cable and YHCTV.com, and pretty much all the games through our Facebook Live online. So let's take a look at the broadcast we're bringing to you this year and getting underway quickly this next week. Tuesday, the 27th, we've got Charleston at Dexter in a SEMO Conference matchup at the Bearcat Event Center. We're going to bring that one live to you Tuesday night at 7:30. And these two teams always link up early in the year. And we'll be looking forward to that SEMO Conference matchup, Charleston and Dexter, on the 27th. Then a few nights later on the Thursday night, the 29th, we've got the Holcomb Invitational Tournament Finals. We're going to bring that live to you as that tournament will get underway Monday evening down at Holcomb, and we'll go all week to Thursday night. We'll bring that final to you Thursday night from Holcomb and that Invitational Tournament Final. So look forward to that one. That'll be probably around an 8 or 8:30 start that evening. And then on December 4th, the next week, we've got Portageville at Clarkton. Then on the 6th, we've got Risco at Delta C7, a Tri-County Conference matchup down at Deering at Delta C7, Risco at Delta C7. On December 7th, Richfield at Rector down in Northeast Arkansas. Richfield at Rector in that Arkansas matchup. December 10th, we've got Richland at Gideon. Richland at Gideon for that one. December 11th, Jackson at Dexter, another SEMO Conference matchup at the Bearcat Event Center on the 11th. December 14th, the Clarkton Holiday Tournament Finals. We'll bring that final of that Clarkton Holiday Tournament there in Clarkton. They're on the 14th. December 18th, we've got New Madrid County Central at Kennett. That's a SEMO Conference matchup to look forward to there in Kennett on the 18th. Then December 20th, we've got Chaffee at Bloomfield. Chaffee at Bloomfield on the 20th there. And on the 21st of December, Malden at Campbell. And that's a Boot Hill Conference matchup there, Malden at Campbell on the 21st. Then the Bloomfield Christmas Tournament, all 26 games live on YHC following the day after Christmas, the 26th through the 29th, 4 days straight. That's a Wednesday through Saturday this year. And all 26 games of the Bloomfield Christmas Tournament live once again. Then into 2019 on January 3rd, we've got Crothersville at Malden in a Boot Hill Conference matchup. Then the next night on the 4th, we've got Jackson at Kennett in a SEMO Conference matchup in Kennett. Then on the 7th, we got Delta C7 at Portageville. Then the following night on January 8th, we've got Bloomfield at Dexter. Bloomfield at Dexter in a Stoddard County Conference matchup there. Always a big one between those two. Then on this January 11th, we've got Dexter at Bernie. Big matchup there in the Stoddard County Conference. Always a big rivalry game there. And that'll be down at Bernie on January 11th this year. On the 14th, Bloomfield at Holcomb. Then the next night on the 15th, we got Bloomfield at Bernie. So a couple of Bloomfield games back-to-back. and that'll be a Stoddard County Conference matchup there on the 15th at Bernie. Then on the 18th, we've got Dexter at New Madrid County Central. That'll be a SEMO Conference matchup there over at New Madrid on the 18th. Then on the 22nd, we've got Risco at Gideon. Big Tri-County Conference matchup there in Gideon on the 22nd. On the 24th, Zenith Hornersville at Clarkton. Then on the 25th, the next night, we've got, on that Friday night, we'll have the Stoddard County Activities Association Tournament Final Night. That'll be the third place and varsity game, or the third place and championship games of JV and varsity on that night. 4 games starting at 4 o'clock, going through the evening. So 4 nights there on the final night of the Stoddard County Activities Association Tournament on the 25th. And I believe that is in Bloomfield this year. That'll be up in Bloomfield for that county tournament final night. And on the 29th, we've got Twin Rivers at Bernie. A nice matchup there on the 29th. On the 31st, girls game, we've got Naylor at Dexter at the Bearcat Event Center. 2 of the better girls teams in the area, Naylor and Dexter, linking up there on the 31st. And into February, we've got the Boudreaux Conference Tournament Finals. Unknown where that location is at this point, but on February 1st, that is the JV and Varsity Finals. 2 games that evening from that location for the Boat Hill Conference Tournament Final Night. And that is the finals of the JV and Varsity tournaments on February 1st. On the 4th, we got another girls game, Notre Dame at Dexter, and that SEMO Conference matchup and a Class 4 District 1 matchup there between Notre Dame and Dexter. On February 5th, Bernie at Hayti. That might be one of the games of the year there. Bernie at Hayti, a rematch of last year's district championship where Hayti got out of the district over Bernie and eventually went on to play in a Class 2 state championship game. Rematch of that district final down at Hayti on February 5th. That'll be one to look forward to in 2019. Then on the 8th, we got Kennett at Dexter, and that SEMO Conference matchup at the Bearcat Event Center. On February 11th, Cooter at Campbell. Cooter at Campbell there on February 11th. Then we've got on the 12th, the next night, Dexter at Poplar Bluff in a SEMO Conference matchup over at Poplar Bluff. Then on the 14th, Holcomb at Malden. Holcomb at Malden there on the 14th. And then on the 21st, we'll have our Tri-Cast. We're pretty certain that they'll have 3 district tournament games on the final night. That is Class 1, 2, and 3. And we look to bring you another Tri-Cast for the district tournament championship games as we did last year. We were at we were at Clarkton, Bernie, and New Madrid last year, and we'll go to the next 3 locations this year for that district tournament final night, Tri-Cast, once again here on YHC for that district championship night for classes 1 through 3 in the boys tournament championships. So look forward to that in late February. And of course, state tournament games, those will be determined just place and time once they come. Pretty much classes 1 through 4 for those state tournament games. We'll see what happens as the season develops there in late February into March for those contests. So that is our basketball broadcast schedule for this season, 2018-2019. Looking to get started this next week. Charleston and Dexter on the 27th, Tuesday night. And that'll be at 7:30 here on YHC, so look forward to that one. And then two nights later on the 29th, Thursday, we'll have that'll be the Clarkton Invitational Tournament Final on the 29th, Thursday night from Holcomb. That'll be about an 8:30 start for that one on Thursday night. So there's your broadcast schedule for this year, and we'll get that up on our website at yhctv.com, where you can pretty much click on that at any point going forward. I have a link to it on our front page that you can look at any time. So there you go. 2018-2019 schedule is published, and we're ready to get started for another successful season. And of course, the Bloomfield Christmas Tournament we'll be looking forward to there right after Christmas, and into the conference tournament finals that we cover in the Stoddard County Conference and the Boot Hill Conference, and of course the potential district tournament championships into state tournament play there in late February and March. So we're looking forward to get started with another fun season here on YHC, and hopefully you'll join us along the way for a lot of fun through high school basketball once again here on YHC. And that's pretty much what we got to bring to you for today in the roundtable. As I said, we're transitioning from high school football to high school, or the fall sports, into high school basketball in the winter sports season. pretty much this week. So we're starting to make that transition, but a little bit more football to go, notably with Westran and Hayti. And we're going to bring that game live to you Saturday afternoon from Hayti right here on Channel 21 on New Wave Cable, YHCTV.com, and Facebook Live. So look forward to that Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock start. Westran, the Westran Hornets taking on the Hayti Indians. And we'll bring that live to you right here on YHC. Saturday afternoon, the winner advances on to Faro Field for the Class 1 State Championship next weekend in Columbia. And it's going to be exciting to see who advances on in that Class 1 semifinal Saturday afternoon. So look forward to it. We'll bring it live to you right here on YHC. And that's all we've got for you for today. And we appreciate you for tuning in as always. And look forward to seeing you right back here with us next weekend for another roundtable. And until then, have yourself a great weekend. Thanks, the rest of your Thanksgiving weekend. Take care, everyone.